We are either completely alone in the universe, or we are being deliberately ignored. There is no comfortable middle ground. The universe is vast beyond human understanding. It stretches across distances so large that light itself takes billions of years to cross them. It contains more galaxies than grains of sand on Earth. Each galaxy holds billions of stars. Around many of those stars, there are planets, and among those planets, countless worlds sit in the exact conditions needed for life. And yet, there is silence. No signals, no messages, no confirmed contact, not even a whisper. This silence is not just strange, it is deeply unsettling. Because everything we know about science tells us that life should not be rare. It should be everywhere. Life on Earth began almost as soon as conditions allowed it. That suggests something powerful. It suggests that life emerges easily when the environment is right. And if that is true, then the universe should be filled with living worlds, not empty, not quiet, not silent, but it is. That contradiction is one of the biggest mysteries in modern science. And the deeper scientists look into it, the more disturbing the answers begin to feel. In this video, you will discover the real reason alien life still has not contacted us, not the popular answers, not the comforting theories, but the explanations that scientists quietly take seriously, the ones that raise difficult questions about survival, intelligence, and the future of every civilization that has ever existed. You will learn why the universe should be full of life, yet shows no signs of it. You will understand the hidden barriers that may stop civilizations from ever reaching each other. You will see how advanced intelligence might not lead to progress, but to destruction. And by the end, you will face a possibility that changes how you see humanity itself, because the silence of the universe is not just about aliens, it is about us. At the center of this mystery is a simple but powerful idea known as the Fermi Paradox. It is named after physicist Enrico Fermi, who asked the question so direct that it still echoes today. If intelligent life is common in the universe, where is everyone? This question is not based on science fiction. It is based on real numbers. Careful estimates suggest that there should be millions, even billions, of advanced civilizations in our galaxy alone. Some of them should be far older than humanity, millions of years older, enough time to develop technologies far beyond anything we can imagine, enough time to spread across the galaxy, enough time to reach us, and yet nothing. No evidence of alien spacecraft, no confirmed signals from distant stars, no signs of large-scale structures built by advanced civilizations, just silence. This silence becomes even more disturbing when you consider how short a time humanity has been listening. For only a few decades, we have been scanning the sky for signals, and already we have expected something, a hint, a pattern, a message hidden in the noise. But the universe has given us nothing. That emptiness forces scientists to consider explanations that go far beyond simple distance or bad luck. It forces a deeper question, not just where aliens are, but why they are not here. One of the leading voices exploring these questions is Brian Greene. He approaches the universe with a mix of mathematics and curiosity, but also with a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. He does not look for easy answers. He looks for answers that match reality, even if they challenge everything we expect. According to this line of thinking, the silence of the universe is not random. It is not a coincidence. It is a clue, a signal hidden in the absence of signals. There are only a few possible explanations for this silence, and none of them are simple. It could mean that intelligent life is extremely rare, that something about the origin of life or the rise of intelligence is so unlikely that it almost never happens. In that case, humanity might be one of the few or even the only intelligent civilizations in existence. That idea may sound special, even comforting, but there is another possibility. A darker one, it could mean that intelligent life does appear across the universe, but it does not last. That something happens to civilizations after they reach a certain level of advancement. Something that prevents them from spreading, from communicating, from surviving long enough to be noticed. Something that ends them. If that is true, then the silence is not empty. It is filled with the echoes of civilizations that once existed and are now gone. There is also another unsettling idea, one that changes the meaning of silence entirely. It could mean that advanced civilizations are out there watching, listening, but choosing not to reveal themselves, not because they cannot, but because they should not. Because making contact might be dangerous, because the universe may not be a friendly place, These possibilities may sound extreme, but they are grounded in real scientific reasoning. They are built from what we know about physics, biology, and the behavior of intelligent systems, and as research continues, these ideas are taken more seriously than ever before. The truth is, the question of alien contact is no longer just about curiosity. It is about understanding the limits of life itself. It is about discovering whether intelligence leads to survival or to extinction. And right now, the only evidence we have is silence. In the next few minutes, we are going to break this mystery apart piece by piece. We will explore the hidden barriers that may stop civilizations from growing. We will look at the dangers that come with advanced technology, and we will uncover the real reason why the universe remains quiet, even when it should be full of voices. By the end, you may see the silence in a completely different way, and you may realize that the most disturbing answer is not that we are alone, it is that we are not. Welcome to the channel. If you want to explore the deepest mysteries of the universe and uncover truths that most people never hear about, make sure to subscribe and stay with us until the end. The universe is not just big, it is overwhelmingly vast. Scientists estimate that the observable universe contains more than 2 trillion galaxies. Each one holds billions or even trillions of stars. Around many of those stars, there are planets. Not a few, not thousands. Trillions upon trillions. This is not speculation anymore. Modern telescopes have confirmed that planets are everywhere. In fact, planets seem to form naturally whenever a star is born. This means most stars you see in the night sky likely have entire systems around them. Among these planets, a surprising number sit in what scientists call the habitable zone. This is the region around a star where conditions are just right for liquid water to exist. Not too hot, not too cold, just stable enough for life to begin. And here's something many people do not realize. Some of these planets are older than Earth. Much older by billions of years. That means if life started there, it had a massive head start. Civilizations on those worlds could be far more advanced than anything humanity has ever achieved. Now consider this, life on Earth appeared very quickly. As soon as the planet cooled and conditions stabilized, simple life forms emerged. This happened almost 4 billion years ago. That speed suggests something important. It suggests that life does not need extremely rare conditions. It may emerge easily when the environment allows it. If that is true, then life should not be special. It should be common. And if simple life is common, then over time, some of it should evolve into intelligent life. That is exactly what happened here. Evolution pushed life forward slowly but consistently from single cells to complex organisms and eventually to conscious beings capable of building technology. There is no clear reason to believe Earth is unique in this process. When scientists combine all these factors, they reach a striking conclusion. The universe should be filled with life. Not just simple organisms, but intelligent civilizations. Many of them should be far older, far more developed, and far more capable than humanity. Some estimates suggest that even in our own galaxy, the Milky Way, there could be thousands or even millions of civilizations. That is not science fiction. That is based on probability. Now, the contradiction becomes impossible to ignore. If intelligent life is everywhere, then where is the evidence? There are no confirmed signals from distant stars, no clear signs of advanced engineering on a galactic scale, no probes entering our solar system, no visitors, no messages, even more unsettling. The universe shows no large-scale activity that would suggest powerful civilizations expanding outward, no visible megastructures, no energy patterns that stand out against natural cosmic processes. It is as if the universe is full of potential life, but completely empty of presence. This silence becomes harder to explain with every new discovery. Each new planet we find increases the odds that life should exist somewhere else. Each new observation strengthens the expectation that we should not be alone, and yet the sky remains quiet. No answers, no contact, no sign that anyone is out there. Only a growing realization that something does not add up. There is a theory that tries to explain this silence. It does not begin with aliens, it begins with a barrier. Scientists call it the Great Filter. It is a simple idea, but it carries a heavy weight. Somewhere along the path from lifeless matter to advanced civilization, there is a step that almost nothing survives. A stage so difficult, so unlikely, or so dangerous that most life never makes it past it. Think of evolution as a long chain. First, a planet forms, then simple chemistry turns into basic life. Then that life becomes more complex. Cells combine, organisms grow, intelligence appears. Tools are created, technology develops. Eventually, a civilization becomes advanced enough to explore space and communicate across the stars. The Great Filter suggests that one of these steps is nearly impossible, not just difficult, nearly impossible. That means most planets never reach the final stage, most life never becomes intelligent, most intelligent species never become advanced, something stops them. Now here is where the idea becomes deeply unsettling. There are only two places this filter can exist: behind us or ahead of us. If the filter is behind us, then humanity is extremely rare. It would mean that one of the early steps in this chain is almost impossible. Perhaps the origin of life itself is incredibly unlikely, or the leap from simple cells to complex organisms almost never happens, or intelligence is a rare accident that only occurred once here on Earth. This sounds comforting at first. It would mean humanity has already passed the hardest stage. It would mean we are special, survivors of a cosmic challenge that us no one else has ever overcome. But there is a hidden problem. If the filter is behind us, then the universe should still show signs of other civilizations that also made it through. Even if they are rare, they should exist. And some of them should be far older than us, old enough to leave clear evidence behind. Yet we see nothing. That leads to the second possibility. The filter is ahead of us. This is the darker option. It means that life forms easily. Intelligence appears often. Civilizations begin to grow, but at some point they all hit a wall, a stage they cannot survive. It could be something natural, a cosmic event, a sudden environmental collapse, or something they create themselves, a technology that grows beyond control, a weapon too powerful to contain, a system that turns against its creators. The more advanced a civilization becomes, the more power it gains. But with that power comes risk. And the Great Filter may be the moment when that risk becomes too great. There is a disturbing pattern hidden in this idea. The universe may not be empty because life is rare. It may be empty because life does not last. Civilizations rise, they develop, they reach a critical point, and then they disappear. No signals, no traces, no survivors, just silence. If this is true, then every quiet star in the sky could be the remains of a civilization that once existed, a world that reached the edge of something it could not overcome and failed. There is a pattern that begins to appear when intelligence rises. It does not begin with discovery, it begins with power. Every advanced civilization reaches a point where it can reshape its environment, it can control energy on massive scales. It can build machines that think, calculate, and act faster than any biological mind. It can alter its own planet, it can alter its own planet, it can even alter itself. But this power comes with a cost. The same two goals that allow a civilization to grow can also destroy it. On Earth, this pattern has already started to reveal itself. In less than a century, humanity has created weapons capable of ending entire cities in seconds. Nuclear weapons are not theoretical. They exist. They have been used. And even today, thousands remain active, ready to be launched within minutes. This is a very short time scale in cosmic terms. A civilization rises, discovers energy, and almost immediately creates the means to erase itself. And nuclear war is only one risk. Another grows silently in the background: artificial intelligence. Systems that learn, adapt, and make decisions. At first, they solve problems, they increase efficiency, they push science forward, but as they grow more complex, they become harder to control. Some scientists warn that highly advanced intelligence may not share human goals. It may act in ways that are logical but dangerous. A system designed to optimize could begin to reshape the world in ways that harm its creators simply because it follows its instructions too well. This risk is still developing, but it reflects a deeper truth. As intelligence grows, so does unpredictability. There's also the slow danger: environmental collapse. A civilization consumes resources to grow. It burns fuel. It changes its atmosphere, it reshapes ecosystems. At first, these changes seem small, but over time they build, temperatures shift, oceans rise, systems that support life begin to break down. On Earth, this process is already visible. Climate change is not a distant threat. It is happening now, and it shows how a civilization can weaken itself without realizing the full consequences until it is too late. These risks share a common feature. They are created by the civilization itself, not by external enemies, not by random cosmic events, but by its own progress. The more advanced the civilization becomes, the more powerful its tools become, and the more dangerous those tools become. And this creates a fragile moment, a point where intelligence must control the very forces it has unleashed. A point where a single mistake, a single conflict, or a single failure can lead to collapse. If this pattern is universal, then it changes how we see the silence of the universe. It is no longer just absence. It becomes evidence that many civilizations may have reached this stage, built powerful technologies, expanded rapidly, and then faced the same risks. Some may have destroyed themselves in sudden events, others may have declined slowly, losing stability over time. Some may have created systems they could not control, others may have exhausted their own worlds. In each case, the result is the same. They disappear, no signals, no warnings, no final messages, only a quiet sky that shows no trace of what once existed. And if this cycle repeats across the universe, then the silence we observe may not be empty at all. It may be the outcome of countless civilizations that rose to power, reached their peak, and then crossed the line they could not return from. There is another explanation for the silence. It does not assume that light is rare. It does not assume that civilizations destroy themselves. It assumes something far more unsettling. They are out there and they are quiet on purpose. This idea is often called the dark force hypothesis. It describes the universe as a place where every civilization is alone, uncertain, and cautious, not because they lack technology, but because they understand the risks of being seen. In this view, space is like a dark forest at night. Every civilization is a hidden presence. Each one moves carefully, each one listens, but no one reveals their position. The reason is simple. Any signal you send into space does not just carry information, it reveals your location. It tells others where you are, how advanced you might be, and that you exist at all. And once that information is out, it cannot be taken back. Light travels in all directions. Radio waves spread across space forever. A single broadcast could reach countless star systems over time. Some of those systems may be empty, but others may not be, and you do not know who is listening. This creates a dangerous situation. If even one civilization out there is aggressive or simply cautious enough to eliminate potential threats, then silence becomes the safest strategy. Because from their perspective, any unknown civilization could become a future rival. Distance does not remove this risk. Advanced technology could allow civilizations to act across vast distances, not quickly by human standards, but steadily over long periods of time. A civilization that survives long enough may not think in years or centuries. It may think in thousands or millions of years. In that time scale, even a distant signal matters. There is also a deeper problem. You cannot know the intentions of another civilization. Even if most are peaceful, it only takes one that is not. And the cost of being wrong is total destruction. This creates a kind of cosmic silence agreement. Not through communication, but through fear and logic, the safest move is to remain hidden, to observe but never reveal. There are hints that humanity has already taken small steps in the opposite direction. For decades, Earth has been leaking signals into space. Television broadcasts, radio transmissions, radar pulses. These signals have already traveled dozens of light years away from our planet. They form a growing bubble that marks our presence. Most of these signals are weak, they fade with distance, but they still exist, and they carry information about us, about our technology, about our existence. Some scientists have raised concerns about this, not as science fiction, but as a real strategic question, whether active attempts to contact alien civilizations are wise or risky, because once a message is sent, it cannot be undone. If the dark forest idea is correct, then the silence of the universe is not a mystery. It is a decision. Every civilization that understands the danger chooses the same path: stay quiet, stay hidden, survive, stay hidden, survive. And this leads to a chilling possibility. The universe may not be empty of voices. It may be full of listeners, each one waiting, each one aware, but none willing to speak first. There is another possibility that feels less dramatic, but just as unsettling. The universe may not be silent because life is rare or because it hides. It may be silent because of timing. Humanity exists at a very specific moment in cosmic history. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. Earth formed around 4.5 billion years ago. Intelligent life appeared only recently in the last fraction of that timeline. That gap matters. For billions of years, the universe was not ready for complex life. Early stars were unstable. Heavy elements like carbon and oxygen were not common yet. Planets capable of supporting life needed time to form. In a sense, the universe had to mature before life like ours could even begin. Some scientists believe that we may be among the first civilizations to appear after this long preparation phase. If that is true, then the silence has a simple explanation. There has not been enough time for many civilizations to develop. The universe may still be in its early stage of life. In this scenario, humanity is not late, it is early. That may sound hopeful. It suggests that the future of the universe could eventually be filled with life. Civilizations may rise across countless worlds in the distant future. But right now, there are not many others to detect, yet there is another side to this idea. We may not be early, we may be late. The universe has already had billions of years before Earth even formed. During that time, other planets could have developed life. Some of those worlds could have produced intelligent species long before humans existed. Not just thousands of years earlier, millions or even billions. That kind of head start changes everything. A civilization with even a million-year advantage could reach levels of technology far beyond human understanding. It could expand across its galaxy. It could build systems and structures that we cannot even detect yet, and still we see nothing. This leads to a troubling thought. Those civilizations may have existed, but they are gone, not recently, not suddenly, but long enough ago that all traces have faded. Their signals have stopped, their structures have decayed. Their presence has been erased by time. The universe is not static. Stars explode, galaxies collide, radiation spreads. Over millions of years, even large structures can disappear. Evidence does not last forever. So even if the universe was once filled with life, it may no longer be. There's also a deeper issue. Civilizations may not overlap. For contact to happen, two civilizations must exist at the same time. They must both be active, capable of communication, and within a reachable distance. This sounds simple, but it creates a narrow window. If one civilization rises and falls before another begins, they will never know about each other, even if they exist in the same galaxy. Even if they are relatively close, they miss each other completely. This is the cosmic timing problem. Life may appear again and again across the universe, but not in sync. Each civilization exists in its own time, separated not just by distance, but by history, humanity. Why could be surrounded by worlds that once held intelligent life, or worlds that will hold it in the future. But right now, at this exact moment, there may be no one else close enough or active enough to answer. The universe may not be empty. It may simply be out of phase. There is one more explanation. It does not depend on fear. It does not depend on destruction. It depends on the basic laws of the universe. Distance. Space is not just large. It is almost incomprehensibly vast. Even within our own galaxy, the Milky Way, distances between stars are enormous. The nearest star system to Earth is over 4 light years away. That means even light, the fastest thing in the universe, takes more than 4 years to get there. Most stars are much farther. Signals sent from one side of the galaxy to the other can take tens of thousands of years to arrive, and that is just within a single galaxy. Between galaxies, the distances grow even larger, millions of light years, sometimes billions. This creates a fundamental barrier. No signal can travel faster than light. This is not a limitation of technology. It is a rule of physics. No matter how advanced a civilization becomes, it cannot break this limit. It can only work within it. So even if a civilization sends a message, that message travels slowly across cosmic distances. By the time it arrives, the civilization that sent it may no longer exist. And the same is true in reverse. Humanity has been broadcasting signals for about a century. That means our signals have only traveled about 100 light years into space. This is a tiny region compared to the size of the galaxy. It is like a small bubble expanding outward, barely touching a fraction of nearby stars. Beyond that bubble, there's nothing from us, and within that bubble, there may be no one listening, even if there is a civilization just 1,000 light year. They would not know we exist yet. Our signals have not reached them, and if they sent signals toward us at the same time, those signals are still traveling, they have not arrived. This creates a strange situation. Two civilizations can exist at the same time. They can both be sending signals, and yet they remain completely unaware of each other, because their messages are still in transit. There's also the problem of signal strength. As radio waves travel through space, they spread out and weaken. Over long distances, they become extremely faint. By the time they reach another star system, they may be buried in background noise. Detecting them requires precise alignment and sensitive equipment. Even then, the signal may be too weak to recognize. Some scientists believe that the most common signals in the universe may already be passing through us right now. But they are too faint, too scattered, or too different from what we expect, so we do not notice them. There is another factor. Civilizations may not use technologies we understand. They may communicate in ways that leave no detectable trace across vast distances. Methods that do not rely on radio waves or visible light. If that is the case, then the universe could be active with communication, but invisible to us. All of this leads to a quieter explanation. The silence may not be intentional. It may simply be the result of distance and time. Civilizations may exist across the universe, separated by gaps so large that interaction becomes almost impossible. Each one isolated in its own region of space, surrounded by stars, but cut off from others, not by choice, but by the structure of reality itself. The universe is filled with stars, it is filled with stars, it is filled with the ingredients for life, and yet it remains silent. This is the mystery that refuses to go away. A cosmos full of potential, but empty of voices, no signals, no visitors, no clear signs that anyone else has ever reached out. After everything we have explored, the silence no longer feels simple. It begins to feel like a message. Life may be far more rare than we thought. It may take a chain of events so unlikely that it almost never happens. In that case, humanity stands in a universe where intelligence is almost non-existent. Or life may be common but fragile. Civilizations may rise again and again only to collapse before they can reach beyond their own worlds. Technology may give them power, but also create the conditions for their own end. Or something even more unsettling may be true. Advanced civilizations may exist, watching and listening, but choosing silence as their only protection. A universe where survival depends on staying hidden. Each possibility leads to the same result. Silence, but this silence is not empty. It carries weight. It carries warning. It suggests that something somewhere in the path of life goes wrong. And if that is true, then this is no longer just a question about aliens. It is a question about our future, because humanity is moving along that same path, developing new technologies, expanding its reach, increasing its power, step by step, approaching the same unknown limits that every other civilization may have faced. The answer to this mystery may already be written in the silence around us, not as a story of loneliness, but as a story of survival. If you found this perspective thought-provoking, consider supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing. There is much more to explore, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding. Our place in this vast and quiet universe